Talk shows are amazing, but there aren't many animated talk shows, and one person took that challenge to make an animated talk show. So, Matt, tell us about yourself.
Hey man, well first of all, thank you so much for having me on. This is such an honor. I'm a big fan of you, so this is great. Um, yeah man, as you said, I have an animated talk show. I'm 25 years old, I live in New York, and I kind of recently just started trying to get my YouTube channel going and, get this talk show kind of moving. It's really exciting, it's super fun. Typically I talk about creators that I like, and interview creators that I like, much like you, so I think we have a lot in common when it comes to that. But yeah, man, it's been super fun. I'm taking notes from your interviews. They're phenomenal. You do a great job.
I'm taking note from yours.
Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. It's an animated bat that sits on a talk show set and super quirky and weird. And I think that it's so much fun.
Why did you who inspired you to start doing YouTube?
Wow, that's a big question because I first started on YouTube when it was first thing. Because as I said, I'm 25. How old are you? 12?
Yes.
Yeah. I've got some time on you, man. But so I guess it was probably about
only a bit.
It was about when you were born, probably, that I started watching YouTube, which is horrifying to say, but hilarious. And I started watching people like Shane Dawson and Fred. I think Fred was the one that I really immediately loved a lot. Like he was like the big one, and like Dave Days was another big one back then. And then I kind of fell off of YouTube for a while, and then I kind of picked back up on it last year actually, which is hilarious because I was just out of the game for so long, and then I picked back up on it and got really inspired by channels like Yes Theory, who I know that you know personally because I saw you.
I'm wearing their merch.
I see that. I love it. I watched your video when you went to the house. It was super cool.
Yeah.
And Eric Tabak, who you also know, which is how I found out about you.
Wow.
Yeah, because I used to edit for him. So
yeah.
So yeah,
Did
I
you see me on a story?
Yeah, he posted it on a story, and I thought it was just so awesome because he doesn't have many interviews with other people. So
yeah.
And he's such a a big personality. So he was a great guest, and that's how I found your channel. So yeah, I've just been back in the YouTube game like the past year. Just updated my channel, and I'm trying to figure it out.
Why did you decide to learn animation?
So I've always been really interested in animation since I was younger. It's something that I've always just found such joy in watching, like Pixar movies, or watching Nickelodeon as a kid, or all those different things. And so it's always been something I've been interested in. And then I've always known that I wanted to work in it to some degree. So I've throughout my life tried to find ways that I can incorporate animation into my own storytelling, and how I can enhance my storytelling through visuals and animating and stuff like that. So I think it was only natural that eventually I made something like this that I'm super happy with and super proud of. I'm still learning how to animate. A lot of it was made by a designer that I work with, and then he's kind of been teaching me how to work the rig and everything like that. But I definitely want to become a full animator at some point in my life.
Yeah, animating something really cool. I feel like most people have tried. I've tried it. I have one animation on my channel. It isn't the best, but
I watched it.
Really?
About the sweater.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watch your stuff, man. I like it. I saw because I was looking at your playlist earlier, and then I saw it. Which, by the way, your YouTube branding is killer, man. I don't know how you have it. You have your style nailed. I feel like it's so good. It's so good. And I saw.
Thank you.
I saw animation. I was like, oh, let me click that, and then I saw it, and it's funny that you made that because when I was your age, I made one that was just like that. And I'll have to find it and send it to you. It was literally it looked just like it. It was crazy. So I think we have a lot in common.
Yeah. So you kind of mentioned Nickelodeon. What was it actually getting a job for Nickelodeon?
Oh, it was great. I was in college when I got the job, so I worked really hard networking for a few years, and eventually they gave me a shot. And I started as an intern and a PA, and I kind of really learned the basics and all that stuff, and I already knew how to video edit and everything, so I kind of fit right in there, and I made myself at home. And I love the Nickelodeon brand. I love the characters that I grew up on. Those are the characters that got me into this field, so I have to pay so much respect to them, and I get to watch them every single day. So yeah, it's been great so far.
like how was like actually like contacting like the person like to like get you the internship, and then what was it like the process of after the internship, like kind of like, you know, why they like chose you after the internship to like work there?
What, you looking for a job, bro? That you'll be the youngest employee next to the youngest podcaster?
No, I'm generally curious.
No, I know. Just kidding. Yeah. So I worked really hard networking through college, and I would just pretty much talk to anybody I can. I kind of just became friends to a lot of artists and filmmakers that way, just by being myself and really wanting to get to know them and their art. So I kind of did the same in the corporate world, where I got to know the recruiter and I kept in touch with her. And then throughout my college, I was like following up with her, like, hey, you know, I saw this position. I really want to work in Nickelodeon. How can I make this happen? And then eventually, I just kept working my way like that. And then they gave me an interview, and I had my interview and I got hired. And then they just kept me on ever since.
Like your role in like Nickelodeon, like what kind of like have you worked on? What are you currently doing for them?
So I do writing and producing for this team that does like a lot of these like big brand campaigns. So like, I don't do you watch Nickelodeon ever?
I used to a lot, but now in Mexico, like my parents stopped like paying for like the TV license. But I used to watch it like a lot. It was like a lot. Like after YouTube, after I was done like editing, I was like straight to watching Nickelodeon. But yeah.
Yeah, so like if you're watching Nickelodeon and you're watching like a new movie or a new show, you'll notice that all the commercials are all like these fun promotional videos that are like get you hyped, like trailers and like all that stuff. Or like if it's Halloween, you'll go on the network and you'll see everything is just like
spooky.
Yeah, like spooky. So like that's exactly what I do, is like work on those and work on the brand and all that kind of stuff, and then also work on the social media stuff. So on that side of things, I'm, you know, helping make social assets and stuff like that, which I do in my free time as well. So yeah, it's just a mix of like a lot of different things wherever they need me.
That's so cool. Like a little bit like dip in the future. But let's say like your YouTube really like starts going like for 10,000 subscribers. Would you like, and you're making enough revenue, would you like leave Nickelodeon to focus on YouTube full time, or is like you want to keep YouTube as kind of a side hustle and then like?
Wow, what a question. That's a great question, because I have been dealing with that question every day. Yeah, man, I mean, I don't know what the future holds, but if I could be sustainable and work for myself, I think that that would be incredible. And I would love to work for myself. I'd love to be my own boss. I love building out my brands and doing things like this. Like, this is what I feel like I'm built for. So definitely, I think that that would be a future move if I was able to make that happen. And honestly, it's a big push for me to keep making videos and putting out weekly uploads and stuff like that, so I can make it to that point where I can be self-sufficient and work for myself. So yeah.
Yeah, I also feel like it's kind of risky, because like you might have like a month where you don't do as well, and then you like can't afford like one thing that you need. But yeah. No,
that's exactly right. And that's what I'm dealing with now, is like I have a really good, well-paying job that's super steady, and making videos on the side, it keeps me up all night, because I work 40 to 50 hour weeks every week at least. So making all this stuff on the side is definitely tiring, and it's very time consuming. Yep. And so yeah, it's like the same thing with you. Like, you're at school all the time, I'm sure. And so I think if I can keep doing that and keep it up, then I think that maybe I can get to that place, and I would be very happy to be my own boss.
Again,
thanks, man.
Have you had like any other like companies like reach out to you that are not Nickelodeon to kind of like get you away from Nickelodeon?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I've had some job offers here and there, and I've worked with some people who have been like potential jobs that I could have, like, at one point I was working with Eric Tabak, and we were having serious conversations about like, is this something that I want to do full time? Is this something that I can do and sustain myself by working with him as his editor and stuff like that? So yeah, there's definitely been some opportunities like that have come my way that I've had to balance out and stuff like that. And so far right now, nothing has really come my way that's worth leaving my job because it's a very good job. But I think
I can imagine.
Someday that would be cool. If I could find something in the YouTube sphere to do full time, I would love that.
I also wouldn't leave Nickelodeon for like a YouTube editor.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
On like the topic of like Eric DeBotch, you also did some other like freelance work with like Yes Theory, like Cool Man Coffee Dan. Like, which one has been like the most like rewarding, and what have been like some like funny moments that happened?
Yeah, so those are three brands and companies that I really care about. So all three of them were really awesome. Eric and I have a really special relationship. He's a great guy and one of my best friends, and he taught me so much working for him. So with him, I have a lot of like stuff he taught me about YouTube, because when I started watching him, he was like the first channel that got me back into YouTube. So him and I went to college together for a little bit. So I had a mutual friend who showed me his channel, and then after watching him, I hear in his videos him talking about, oh, Yes Theory, all these different people, Eric, like all these different YouTubers, and I'm like, I don't know any of these people at all. I'd never heard of any of them in my life. And then I looked them up. This was almost a year ago. This was last July. I looked them up and I was like, oh, I love all this stuff. So for him, in my heart, he holds a place where he taught me so much about YouTube culture, and his manager, Vincent, taught me a lot about YouTube analytics and channel growth and branding and all that kind of stuff. So that's like one thing. And then Cool Man Coffee Dan is another one of my best friends who him and I do a lot of work together, and he's just a really, truly great guy. And we're the type of people who could sit in a room and laugh for hours at nothing. So him and I have like that really good creative energy and that creative flow, and when we work together and we make animations together, we have just such a good time. And with the Yes Theory thing, that was just a one-off thing that was almost like a trial run to be an editor, and it was really great. Like the experience, I made a video about it and it was like super fun, and those guys are just really, really incredible and like as cool as you see on YouTube. So I'm genuinely very thankful to have had the opportunity. Nothing more happened from it. That was it. It was just that 2 weeks, and I'm not going to be going back there, but I think that I definitely made some friends for life there, and I'm really thankful for that. Was it fun when you went to the house? It looked fun.
It was very fun. Like Omar was really nice, like everything.
Yeah, he's a great guy, man. I'm so glad you got to link up with them.
Yeah, and like the house is so nice. Like it's very cool.
Yeah, I know it's beautiful. I think I was there like a couple months after you were, so that's so cool. Yeah, actually no, I was there in November of last year, and you were, when did you go there?
January.
Okay. Yeah, so I was there like a month before and then like a couple months after. But was it like a dream come true for you?
Oh, definitely was. Like I've been watching them since I did a video in Colombia, kidnapping like a fan or something. That was like the first video I saw by them, and then like I've like loved their videos since then.
Yeah, they're so great, and honestly, they're such good role models to have. Just genuinely all around, personality and content wise, as a young YouTuber.
Yeah. So kind of like back to like Cool Man Coffee Dan, I feel like having people like you mentioned that you can like talk with them for hours and laugh. Those people are like very good to be around because they good vibes kind of they give off.
Of course. Do you have a friend like that?
Yeah.
Nice. So you know how it is.
Yeah. I was actually thinking of starting like a talk show or like a podcast with him of us just like talking. Because like that was something very entertaining that I actually might do with it.
I think you should 100% do that, because honestly, you never show your true self like then when you're with your buddy, like your best friend, and you guys can goof around, and it brings a whole new dynamic, definitely.
Yeah, and we were thinking of like sometimes we just like go on YouTube and react to like random videos, and I was like, this is a very good like YouTube video idea.
You could be like Cody Ko and Noel Miller, man.
Yeah. Because he's just like really funny. It's like, yeah, he's just really funny. So he's like very good for YouTube, but he doesn't want to start YouTube. And I'm like, start YouTube. You're gonna do so well. I'm like, no, I don't want to.
Maybe he'll come around. You got to get him on the camera with you one day.
Yeah, he has been in some of my videos.
Oh, cool. Send me one. I want to check it out. He sounds like a fun character.
Yeah, I will. So now kind of like to your talk show. Why did you like choose a bat and not any other animal?
So I've always really liked bats a lot. Always. They've been my favorite animal since I was little. And when I was like 12 or so, I built a bat house in my yard. And just like I had like a wood shop class or something, and I built like a really cool bat house, and we got it hung up in like a tree, and like bats were living in there potentially. And it's still up there to this day, and it's just been kind of like also a running joke with my friends. They've always called me Matt the Bat. And my dad's friend when I was little would always he was like this fun like character of a guy. He was always chewing gum, and he'd come up to me and he'd be like, Matt the Bat, what's up? And he'd like give me like a noogie or whatever. So I think my friend saw him do that to me one day, and then my friend started then calling me that to make fun of me, and then it just kind of stuck. And then when I made Instagram when I was in high school, I just made it under my username. I made it my username just as a joke, and then people, when they see me in person, start referring to me as that, and then it's kind of just progressed. And then I thought of my talk show, and then that's been my identity.
Yeah, that's just so funny. How did you like come up with the idea for the Bat Chit Chit show?
Yeah, so the brand, so I don't know, actually. I don't really know how I came up with it, but it was definitely one of those moments where it just made so much sense, because the beginning of the show was an on the street show. So I was running around in the streets of New York, and I was, kind of like talking to people, and I was playing a character where I had like a really high pitched voice. Smart. Yeah, like something like that. And I would run around in like high pitched voice and like, hey guys, Matt the Bat. And then for some reason, like I just thought of the Matt the Bat. Hey guys, this is Matt the Bat from Matt the Bat's Bat Shit Show, and it just sounds so funny and ridiculous for a character with a high voice and who has a lot of energy, and it's such a tongue twister. So when I thought of that, it just kind of became the thing, and people started thinking it was funny, and like it was kind of like, it's kind of like one of those memorable things. So that's how it stuck with me, and I just decided to keep the name when I made the animated talk show.
Why did you like decide to stop the like in-person asking people questions?
A big reason was COVID, because I had started my show, and I was only doing it for a couple months before COVID happened, and then I was stuck in the house. And I did one video where I was like kind of like trolling people on Zoom, and I did like a dating show with like random people that I met on Craigslist, and it was super fun, and I really liked the way, what it turned out to be. But there came a point where the biggest thing is there came a point like I wanted a couple months ago when things started to open back up, and I realized I had no energy or no personality to go back out and keep talking to these people on the street, because one, it's like kind of unsafe, because of COVID, and two, it's
obviously,
yeah, it wasn't as rewarding, because like the stuff that I had been watching through all of quarantine to keep me out of a dark depression
wasn't like that.
It was Yes Theory. It was, it was Eric. It was like all these people. And like, so I think that for me, I was really inspired by the idea of being wholesome and being myself. And I feel like I had been running away from being myself on camera for so long because I'm kind of shy on camera, or I'm nervous to speak. I don't like the sound of my voice. So I was like, you know what? I've just got to do something that makes me feel good about myself, that I can connect with people in a way that's not running around and bothering people. Like, it's still fun to do, and I would love to do it again, but I think that this talk show is a lot more true to myself, and I feel so much better about myself making one of those videos than I do on the street. So that's why I transitioned to that.
Yeah, I really want to like try at some point doing the kind of like the thing you did, going around like asking people questions. I feel like that would be something very fun.
Oh, you should definitely do. It's such an experience. You meet some crazy characters, and even the short amount of time, I just met so many interesting and like cool New York people who you would never meet anywhere else, just because you're such an intimate moment when you're sharing a microphone with them and picking their brain on something stupid, and they think, and you're playing a character. It's like such a dynamic that I think everybody should try for sure.
Yeah, and like knowing I'm not like kind of like nervous to go up to people, I feel like that would be something that also makes it a little bit better. Because like if you're showing that you're nervous, it just like gets boring, kind of.
Totally. No, definitely. But so you don't get nervous when you do any of these interviews at all?
Like in the beginning I did, but like it's just like now I'm like, there are people like.
You have a gift. Who's been like the interview that you were like most like starstruck by so far?
Oh, Amar from Nest Theory. I was literally shaking like this under my table.
That's so cool. Are your parents really proud of you for doing all this?
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love to hear that. And he's a good person to talk to because he's so genuine and nice. So he probably made you feel like he was a totally normal guy, which he is. So that's great.
I was actually very excited for Eric to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're a fan
of his?
Yeah, and like after Eric to watch, I didn't like get nervous. I feel like that was the point where I realized, okay, these people I'm talking to are like normal people, even though they have like a number that sets them apart from like other people. So I was like, yeah, like
they're good examples of why that you see why they have the number, because they're good people. They're not just, you know,
faking
doing
it.
Yeah, they're not like doing bad things on YouTube and getting numbers. They're being themselves and being like, that's why Eric has such a strong fan base. They're super strong and loyal to him. Even when he's off YouTube, I'm sure they're still checking his channel every day, because he's proven himself to be such a good and genuine person to all his fans. So it's awesome.
He is like very a genuine person. He's like, yeah. He was a very good guest. So kind of moving on. If you were to go back to work with one of your freelance clients, which one would you pick and why?
That's a really good question. Man, they were all so great. Honestly, I had so much fun working with Eric. I really did. We had such a good time together, and you know, we did everything. It all happened in like 6 months, and we worked on so much stuff. We dropped a merch line. We did so much stuff together. We got to hang out. We went to Florida and filmed some stuff one time. So stuff like that was a really good time in my life, and I felt very productive. So I would love to do that. I mean, being at Yes Theory, obviously such a dream come true. I would love to go back there in a heartbeat. And with Danny, him and I still work together all the time. So
that's so cool.
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna be seeing him in a couple of weeks. So he's one of my best friends. So we're gonna be working together a lot. He's gonna be on this show in like a couple weeks. A little sneak.
Wow.
Yeah, secret information. Yeah. So any of them, I would love to if they would be so nice to have me again.
Who is like your dream guest for your talk show? Like a realistic one and an unrealistic one.
Oh wow. Hey, they're all realistic, right? I don't I don't know. I would really, I mean, Billie Joe Armstrong from Green Day. Green Day is one of my favorite bands. Actually, yeah, probably Billie Joe Armstrong. Will Smith would be another big one because he's one of my favorite actors. Post Malone, because I just feel like him and I would be such good friends. And who else? I'm trying to think. I know there's so many people. Oh, Conan's another big one because I don't know if you've listened to Conan's podcast. It's called Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend. I think you would really. Do you know who Conan is?
No, I don't. What's his podcast name?
Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend. He's like one of the most famous talk show hosts, and he has a podcast now, and he's like friends with every celebrity pretty much. So they all come on and they talk about life and stories they have together. I think for what you do, his face. Yeah, you definitely have. He's very. I mean, he's like one of the biggest talk show hosts of all time, and in my opinion, the best. So I think you would really like his podcast because he brings on friends and has a conversation like we have. So he would be really cool to talk to. I feel like he's been in the industry for so long. He's pretty much a genius at this point. So yeah, those are probably my answers. And I also just realized I named all men. There's definitely women too. I'd love to interview Rihanna because she's super cool. Yeah, there's so many people that I would love to have on.
I'm surprised. Like, I've asked this to like I've interviewed like other like podcasters, and they like most of them always see like Elon Musk. So I'm kind of surprised you didn't like say him. He's like a very like common person to say.
People love Elon Musk, man. I not me. I don't know. He's fine. I just, Yeah, I don't know. That would be cool. I guess I wouldn't know what to talk to him about. I'm not really into all that, that stuff. But
I wouldn't know like what's talking about either. I just like interview him just because like he's a big person.
Totally, yeah. You get those search results will be crazy.
Yeah, and like imagine like the clips you can get out of that. Like
So good, all the highlights and stuff. Wow, your brain thinks so, like, I can't even believe how smart you are for your age, because
thank
dude,
you.
I gotta send you a video of a video I made when I was your age, and I did not have many brain cells. And you're very intelligent, and the fact that you're running a business is mind blowing, absolutely mind blowing.
Thank you.
Like, I'm so happy for you. That's so sick.
Would you have like wanted to like start earlier? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I wish I took it more seriously when I was younger. And it's very weird coming into it at 25, because although a lot of the YouTubers
Are that age?
are my age, yeah, like most of the big ones are, right? Like I feel like the Paul brothers are like around. I mean, I don't care about the Paul brothers, but one of them's younger than me, one of them's older than me. And then, like Amar is like a year or two older than me. So like there are people that are older, but it's very strange coming in as like an adult to this world, because it's something that I grew up watching and I was so passionate about as a kid. And then now that I'm like an adult, I'm like, I can't believe I'm doing this again, full circle. But I think it's totally a different world than it used to be. And yeah, did I answer your question? I feel like I went on a tangent.
No, yeah, you definitely did.
Okay, cool.
I'm personally like glad I started at this age. But yeah.
Just don't burn out, man.
Yeah, like I don't want to jinx myself. But like I haven't had burnout for like the 6-7 years I've been doing this, so hopefully.
Wow, you've been doing it that long?
Yeah, since I was 5.5.
Whoa, that's crazy. I mean, truly, I cannot even fathom like how big of a career you're gonna have. Like, it's just gonna.
Thank you.
And you edit all the videos yourself?
Yes, every single video on my channel has been edited by me.
Whoa, that's crazy. And yeah, you have a lot of subscribers. You get a lot of views. You get way more views than me. So you're killing it. I mean, just keep going at this level. There's no stopping you. Like, you just see the production value grow and grow, and you'll just be killing it. And maybe you'll get your own like TV show someday or something. I would love that for you.
Hopefully. So like, which has been your favorite video you have like done? Like including the Bat Chats and the Simp series.
Good question. So for Simp series, the Zach and Jay one was really fun, because that was my first one, and
yeah,
I was just really excited I was like, when I saw the final product after I had done all the editing, I worked so hard on it, and like I have like an old computer, so I was, it takes like over 24 hours to export the file for the animation of all the angles. So just doing that. Who does?
I'm not sure if you know. I'm not sure if you know Jake Feldman. But he does like short YouTube Shorts animations. He has like 5 million subscribers, and he like, what he did is like he does like very short animations, and he aligns his like when he's exporting with his sleep schedule. So they take like 12 hours to like export.
Yeah.
So like he's just sleeping while it exports.
Honestly, that's literally what I've been doing. Like, I have to do so much prep before I actually get to the animating point, and then after that I have to do so much because I have to like intercut all the angles and like, make everything look good. So like as you said, like I did that overnight, and with the Zach and Jay thing, it was my first time doing it. So like I felt like I was learning so much, and I only started doing this under 2 months ago. Like, that was when I posted that first video, and to kind of post that and show everybody like, this is what I'm capable of doing, this is what I feel like is very true to me, was a very big moment for me. And it made me feel like I had made something for the first time in a long time that I was really proud of. And especially when they were posting it and they sent it out on their newsletter, And then now I'm gonna have them on the show as a guest. So like things like that.
Congrats.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I'm really excited. It was like it's pretty great because I'm a big fan of both of them. So it's
Same.
like having them on. It's gonna be one of those things where it's like this work was so worth it because then I get to interact with some really cool people. So yeah, I think that one holds such a place in my heart that's like one of my favorite videos I've ever done.
Yeah, the feeling when you've like done something that like you're really proud of is like the best thing ever.
Oh, totally. Yeah, it's especially when you have like a product you can look at and watch and show your friends. I'm sure you feel that when you're sharing your videos to your friends, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's what it's all about.
Which one, Zach or Jay or both of them are you having on your show?
I don't know. I hope it's both of them. It seems like Zach does more interviews.
I had Jay on my podcast.
Oh, you did? I actually didn't even see that.
Yeah, it's not out yet because I have like other podcasts I need to upload for this one.
Oh my God, you're busy. Whoa.
I'm full until the first week of August with podcast. I have like guests signed up until then.
Oh my God, that's incredible. I'm so happy to hear that. That's so
cool. Something that kind of like surprised me is like Jay was really chill. He was like a very chill guy. Very nice.
Did you guys talk about, well, I guess you can't spoil it, but did you talk about the royal wedding at all?
No, I didn't, because that was like before they started like the whole thing. It was like a month ago, probably.
Oh.
I wish you would have like talked about it. If it was like with Zach, I definitely would have talked about it, because it's like an ongoing thing with Zach. So, well, how do you like prepare for interview?
I normally drink a lot of coffee. Honestly, I don't know if you drink coffee. Probably not. I would guess.
Yeah,
No,
you don't need it.
You have the natural energy. When you get old, the energy dissipates, and then you have to consume coffee in order to do it. Yeah. So normally I do it like into the night because I'll be working until 6 p.m. and then after that I'll typically do an interview. So I'm pretty like shot normally at that point. So then I just drink a lot of coffee and I normally write up like a document. The people that I've interviewed, I've known a lot about, so it's come very naturally. But just generally like talking points and all the segues into all those talking points come naturally with conversation, like how we're doing.
Yes.
Like as you know, like I can tell you're really good at that, which I've noticed.
Thank you.
And it's funny to be on this side of the interview because I'm the one doing it normally, so I'm picking up on really good skills that you have. So it's, yeah, I just think you're really good at it. So yeah, that's what I do. What about you? Do you kind of make a list as well? And then...
Yeah, something that I kind of like noticed that like with some podcasters I've like talked to, they don't have like set questions they're going to ask. They have like bullet points. I have like tons of questions like for each guest. I don't know if I should start doing like the bullet points thing. But yeah.
I mean, yeah, so you know something that somebody told me when I was in high school that I'll never forget is if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's the oldest quote ever, but I feel like what you're doing is so good. So keep your flow and keep doing what you're doing because it's working and you're doing a great job. So I wouldn't, if it's not broken, you shouldn't have to fix it, and you'll just keep killing it from that point if you do what you're doing.
Thank you. I don't know if you like have this when you interview, but like I had the freelance work as one of the last questions, but then it ended up as one of like the first questions. Do you have that a lot?
Oh, totally. There's definitely a point where I'll like be looking back in the questions and or like in the bullet points, and I'll see like, oh wait, we already talked about this. It was at the bottom. But somehow, and I think that's part about being a genuinely good person with conversation, that you're able to wrap things up and go back to it. I mean, right, exactly. Like, so the order doesn't tend to matter once you get talking because it becomes very natural. I have a feeling that's hard for a lot of people who maybe aren't naturally very social, but for me, I feel like it's kind of like I can figure out how to do that. And luckily my show has a lot of editing in it, so I have like transitions that break up moments that might need broken up, or I go back in and I might like, you know, re-record a line if I sounded weird or, you know, something was going in the background. So I'm very fortunate to be kind of hiding behind the animation sometimes because it does help me sort of keep the process moving and make sure the product is like exactly how I want it. So I feel like your job is a little bit harder because you're seen, so you have to kind of like, but you're very good at it. You've learned over time, I guess.
Yeah, and something that like I had a lot is like I had like for my first like 3 interviews, I had like that door open in the background. Like these were like, let me take the blur off.
How are you doing that, by the way? The blur.
Next to stop video, there's like an arrow, then virtual background filter, and then there's like blur right there.
Oh, nice.
Have like
looks
this.
cool.
Then I have, like,
Nice.
some other ones. This for class.
No way. Are you serious?
Yeah.
So you can like crawl out of the frame.
Yeah.
Wow, you're crazy. I love it.
For like some of my first couple interviews, I had like these like all like this. It looked horrible. Or like that door open. Like all of that was messy. And yeah, like after a while, you need to make sure to like after an interview, like make sure everything is clean. So.
I know, right? You don't want a pair of tighty whities hanging off the wall or something.
And like my parents kind of got mad, but I'm lucky like the first couple of interviews were like people I knew, so it was okay. You could tell I was just starting because I wasn't like interacting, and like they would answer the question, I'll just like move on, like like interacting, which is very important. But yeah.
Totally. You say your parents got mad about it?
No, they didn't get mad about it, but they were like, no, you can like do this better, like change it. But yeah, they didn't get mad.
That's great. They're supportive of you. That's awesome.
Yeah, and I didn't listen to it until like, I watched them back, and I was like, oh yes, I do like need to do that.
That's why it comes with time. And even so, when I'm interviewing people, I notice that I use so many filler words. So I always say, or like, all these things. So right now I'm trying really hard not to do those things. I've been like writing notes to myself on the documents to tell myself not to do that, because I do it so much, and then I listen back and I'm like, oh my God, I just said that so many times. But I'm sure you know how that is. But you have good. I feel like you have a good speaking pattern, so that's great because you're just gonna keep getting better. I'm getting better already. Like I've been noticing it, so it's good.
Yeah, and like while you're doing it, you're just naturally get better.
Definitely.
And yeah, and like the beginning, I would always say yeah, and like move on, like yeah. Oh, what's your stream for YouTube? Yeah. So how did you do that? It was like.
That's so funny. Yeah, that's definitely part of it. I feel like humans aren't conditioned to speak this clearly all the time. Because when you hear yourself back, you're very like hyper aware of it. But when you're in conversation, no one would ever notice that you do that. So it's all about learning those little things that can make you sound a little bit better, right?
Yeah, and I feel like the podcast was kind of good for like the situation, like with COVID and everything, because a lot of people completely forgot like how to speak to people during COVID. And like, I don't know if this happened to you, but like I've gotten a lot better like speaking to people. I was good before, but like I'm better now, just because like this podcast. And now it was like kind of awkward when I was talking to like people older than me, and now it's like most of the people I interview are at least 5 years older than me. So it's like now I know how to interact with people older than me and people my age. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that's crazy. I never thought about that dynamic for you, because people you're talking to have just generally like so much more even like schooling than you when it comes to vocabulary and all these different things. So I'm sure that it's definitely hard to keep up sometimes. But that's how I know you're smart, because you keep up great. So
yeah, I want to interview a lot of people my age. I actually do have an interview with like a kid my age who's like he does like painting, which his like paintings are amazing, and I actually like know him personally. So that podcast turned out really good.
Oh, that's great. I can't wait to see it. Wow, you have a lot built up. You have a lot like waiting.
Yeah, I have like 8 podcasts left. I have 3 I need to finish editing. 1 planned for next week, and then I have like 6 private on my YouTube channel.
Whoa, that's crazy. You're busy. Good for you. It's the best when you can stay ahead, and then you don't have to rush to the last minute like I do. I pull an all-nighter and try to get the upload out. So that's great. I can't wait to watch them.
Thank you. What have been like some of your biggest regrets, like YouTube and like your talk show wise?
So far I've been regretting not following up on people that want to be on, because I've had some really cool guests that have been interested in coming on, and then I get too tired or like, stressed out from work, and then I keep pushing it off. And then I realize that like a month has gone by and I could have met with all these cool people. So that's been my biggest regret so far. It's just like, I wish that I had just done it like you do, where you just ask somebody and okay, here's the date, there you go. Very straight to the point. For me, it takes me so long to do anything because I'm so scatterbrained and I have like so much going on in my personal life. So I think that that's something I need to get better at, and I need to like just really do things, like take these opportunities as they come.
Yeah, and because I had 2 interviews today, one in the morning and one like in the afternoon. And the one I had in like the morning, I've been like trying to get him on since like March. But like he had time zone problems. He like 5 hours ahead. And then he said he'd message me next week, never messaged me. And like 2 months later, I just remembered when I was trying to get him on, some message like 4 days ago, and now, yeah.
Yeah, it's sometimes you just gotta go for it. Like set a date and people will be there. That's what I've learned.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people are like, I've noticed for like some of when I've talked to other podcasters, they like normally like have long conversations of like agreeing like times and stuff like that. But like I feel like it's a lot better if you set times, and it's just a lot quicker.
Yeah, definitely. And you do all the scheduling yourself?
Yeah.
Wow, man, you're crazy. You're like a whole company in one little kid.
One of like my personal regrets, I decided to say this if anyone wants to start podcasting. But when like a couple like months ago, 6 months ago, I was uploading podcasts the day I was recording them. So that was like 3 podcasts in a week, like podcast every other day. And it was like, it's my biggest regret because most of them were like guests with like a good amount of subscribers. And I should have just like uploaded them like once a week and everything. But yeah, that's one of my biggest regrets.
Yeah, I mean, that doesn't sound like a bad regret to me. That just sounds like you were extra productive and excited.
Yeah.
But that's, I mean, that's not I guess it's not a bad problem to have, uploading 3 times a week. Good for the algorithm, right?
Yeah, and like, now that I think about it, they should have done worse, but like, all of them did really good, and they're like pretty long, some of them are short, but yeah. That's
funny. How do you feel about YouTube Shorts?
I really like YouTube Shorts. I've been like posting clips as like YouTube Shorts, and I'm posting them on TikTok. I did 2. They did like really well. One got like 500 views and another one 100.
Great.
I uploaded like 2 kind of like tutorials. It was like how I edit my podcast and how to get like your dream podcast guest, which is basically me telling how I get my guest. The how I edited well, and how to get your dream podcast guest didn't do like so well because like I've been noticing YouTube doesn't send out notifications for shorts, which is kind of annoying, so I have to put on my Instagram story.
Interesting.
But yeah, I actually really like shorts, and I feel like I kind of know shorts a little bit because I have like a couple of other YouTube channels that like grew with shorts. And like they have like 500, one has 500, one has like 200, both in like different niches, kind of. So yeah, I'm using those channels to learn YouTube Shorts. So when I like do YouTube Shorts for my main channel, they all do well. If that makes sense.
Oh yeah, that makes total sense. And that's great to try it out. That's what we have to do as content creators. We have to keep evolving the platforms and learning them as they come. I feel like I'm not as good at that as I should, but I want to get better at it. I want to figure it out.
Yeah, something I feel like I start doing is like, because I don't post like all my clips to like TikTok and everything, because I feel like my TikTok, all my friends follow me there, so I feel like they just won't do well because my friends like, again, this again. He talks about it all the time. But yeah, I just might start posting anyways. And I should sort of like using Instagram Reels to post them, but yeah.
Yeah, Instagram Reels are interesting, aren't they? They're strange. They do like really well sometimes, and I don't know if it's Instagram trying to compensate for they're trying to be like, look, we're better than TikTok. But I feel like it's a good. I think my favorite is probably TikTok of those, and then Reels, and then YouTube Shorts might be number 3 because I just haven't really tried it out too much yet. I tried it once, I didn't have much success, but I also don't have a lot of subscribers, so I just need to like keep playing at it and see what happens.
No, like subscribers don't matter for shorts. I had like 200 subscribers on like my Minecraft Shorts channel, and I got like a video with 50,000 views. So it's like,
oh, whoa,
Shorts
that's
doesn't
awesome.
like subscribers don't matter at all. I've seen channels go from like 1,000 subscribers to millions, like literally millions just from Shorts.
Really? Okay. Maybe I just gotta be patient with it and go for it.
Yeah, they like, and the thing is with Shorts, most of them take like 12 to 18 hours, or like 2 days to start doing well. And it's short, like it did horrible like the first 2 days, and then like a week after, like 1,000 views, and the 150,000 took 2 days to actually start doing well. So it's just like a waiting game basically.
Whoa. Okay, I'll have to try it out. Do you like that it goes into your video feed though? Because I feel like it should be separate.
Yeah, I also feel like that too. That's why I think that's why some people are like starting Shorts channels. I have like a Shorts channel for just posting like random like I reposted my TikTok, so without the watermark there, and like some other like Minecraft clips, and then like the podcast ones I'm uploading on my main channel, so they just kind of like fit in. But yeah, I feel like that's something they should kind of add.
Yeah, because it seems weird to me with the thumbnails that they're like, if you're as I said before, your branding's really good, so like you have all your like yellow's your color, and you have like all these big bold thumbnails, and then you have like a Shorts that's like a thing like this, and it's like it looks different than the other uploads is what I put out when I put it on my channel. I uploaded one, and I just didn't like the way it looked because I like design stuff, and I was like, no, I gotta get rid of it, and I deleted it right away.
You can also like put thumbnails on Shorts, which is what I do. And back to kind of like the having like a separate section for Shorts. On your phone, you can have like a Shorts area here for Shorts, but it's only on phone. But yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think they're still working on it. It just started, so.
Yeah, it's still in beta. And something else is just like with the thumbnail things on phone, the thumbnails don't appear. Like the custom thumbnails I made are not there, which is very annoying.
That's really annoying.
There are, so it's like weird.
Strange. Yeah, they're probably just working out the kinks.
Yeah, it's still in beta anyways.
Yeah.
So what are like your goals for YouTube on your talk show?
So I've been thinking about this a lot, and I think my goals are just to really have genuine conversations like this, or make genuine videos that make me feel good about myself. Numbers are secondary to me right now. Like obviously it's great when your videos get a lot of views. I did a video on Anthony Fantano, who's like a music reviewer, and he posted it, and my video got like 2,000 views or whatever. So I was super pumped about that, because that's like, when I posted that, I think I had like under 200 subscribers, and that was like a month ago or whatever. So I think, and I only have 600 now, but that's still a pretty good growth for not having much of a platform at all. So it does feel really good to have that. But I think for me, I just really want to see, I really want to make products that I'm proud of, and I want to like uplift creators and feel good about myself when I'm making videos. That's like the biggest thing. It's really therapeutic for me to sit down and make these videos, and be getting to like teach people about stuff that I love, and like connect with similar people. Like the messages I've gotten about my videos from people who I don't know are just so cool, because they're people who are like me, and they love these people. They love a creator, and they're thinking like, oh, somebody gets it, like somebody, because once you have that connection with somebody and you understand that you both love something a lot, like it's like you feel like a connection to them, that you would get along with them. So I think people have felt that with me over the internet, which is such a cool feeling. So that stuff is where I'm like over the moon with joy when it comes to that. So numbers to me are definitely secondary, and I think the moment that I start focusing about numbers a lot, and I start freaking out about numbers, is the moment that I'm gonna self-implode, because I think the quality will suffer if I'm worried about analytics too much. And I do believe that the analytics the numbers will come with patience and with hard work. So that's all I can hope for. Yep, exactly. Yeah, you've been doing this for 7 years, you know, like you see how you've grown over those 7 years. So definitely.
And yeah, it's like my social blade is like so weird. Like I all of a sudden like have like it was like this and then like a dip went up like this, another dip and like up and down and middle like up down. It's just like it really depends on the month. And this was like May was one of the bad months. It was like from April and then like down like April was here and then like May was here. But I didn't really like notice that it was a bad month.
Because you're having fun.
Yeah, it's like that's what matters. If you're having fun, you're gonna like people are gonna notice you're having fun and they're like gonna watch you.
Dude, also the thing is like you'll hear this in any interview probably with people who have made it and have gone crazy. Like that natural rhythm of going up and down, really bad months, decent months, whatever, and then having just that video that just shoots you to the moon and you become this, like people talk about it all the time, like how these single videos just make them explode. And once they do explode, they think back like, whoa, remember when I was stressed out about going up and down? So I think with you, definitely you're just gonna keep going up, and someday you'll look back at this interview and you'll think, oh my God, that's so funny. Remember when I said I had a bad month in May? And now my bad month is 1 million people or something, you know? So it's like, it's gonna be cool to see you do that.
Yeah, and like the thing is like with those people that have like a really good month, it's like they're like, okay, I had like this good month. Every other month is gonna be like this. And that's when they're like, the month after wasn't like that 12 million views I had that 1 month. They start getting demotivated, and that's when they should lose it because they probably like don't realize that.
Oh, totally. I talked about this in my last interview on my channel, but my guest was talking about levels and how like you're never satisfied. You keep going up a level. So his whole thing is like he wants to enjoy the process of it, enjoy every moment of it until you get to that level, and then you'll be thankful for the climb up there, not just like, oh, I need to get to the next spot. So definitely like that's definitely a thing. I agree. Where you like instead of focusing on levels, it's good to focus on process, I guess.
I've interviewed like I'm sorry.
Okay.
But I've interviewed a couple of people who have like a blow up, even from like 1,000 subscribers to like 200,000, and they always like say like, I wish I didn't have that fast glow up. I wish it was kind of like naturally, because I didn't know it was like that like what it was like to be a small YouTuber and you would have like to be for a couple of months. But yeah.
Yeah, I just saw, Justin Bieber's wife, Hailey Bieber. Yeah, so she just posted like she got a YouTube plaque, and she was like 1 month, and it was like the gold million YouTube plaque of 1 month because she's Justin Bieber's wife. Not saying she's not interesting, doesn't have a good YouTube channel, but it was one of those moments where I was like, oh my God, like she never got the feeling of being you and I, and like on the ground getting our hands dirty and interviewing anybody that will answer our DM and stuff like that. So it's really interesting.
Like pray for people like to answer our email, like please answer the email. Like,
is that how you do? You mostly do emails?
Yeah, and I mostly do emails.
Nice. Yeah, I do DMs and nobody answers me, so I should probably start doing emails.
Yeah, I feel like emails is more like professional, because less people try emails. Like people are like, no, I'm not gonna like put all this work to like send out the same message like that. I can do so a lot easier, and it's like you'll get noticed easier. On DMs, you probably have hundreds of other people like also sending DMs about the same thing, and on emails, it's probably less people, so higher chance.
So true. Yeah, I think emails a move. Good point.
Also, Instagram Lives are also a very good way to get guests. I don't know if you've noticed.
Like you call into somebody's or what?
Yeah. So like, if someone you want to get on like your talk show or podcast is doing a Instagram Live, join their Instagram Live. Send a request to join, and then say, hey, I have an idea to pitch. Add me so we can discuss. And just like spam it like every 30 seconds, like put it in chat. They'll eventually see it because you're putting it. and they're just either you pitch yourself, and because there's kind of like pressure on them to like say yes because there's like other people watching, they're most likely say yes. So,
Wow.
yeah.
That's a great idea. Thanks for that.
I've got like 3 guests by that, and it's just, yeah.
Whoa, I love it. All right, I'm gonna have to try that out.
You should. That's why I have like notifications for people when they go live.
I love it. That's great.
So now for the last question, do you have any advice for anyone who wants to start like animating or YouTube?
Yeah, I would say we're at a point with technology where you can learn anything from your computer. I learned all the editing stuff. I didn't learn that in college or whatever. I learned that all from YouTube and from friends teaching me. Right. So we're at a point where if you want to go do it, you should just go do it. Definitely a big thing for me was letting my walls down and not being self-conscious when it comes to hearing my own voice and talking to people, because I really am truly self-conscious when I'm on camera, even though I could play off like I'm not. I'm always dying inside if I'm on camera a little bit. But I like it too, but it's just one of those feelings. So I would say try to get that past that feeling, learn everything you can, try everything you can. Don't give up if numbers don't do well, because I've been that person where I've thought of numbers, and if it's not doing well, I want to give up. And right now I feel so much happier as a creator who's not caring about numbers, just caring about, putting out really cool stuff. So that's the best advice I can give. Just be true to yourself and make content you believe in, not content you think is going to go viral.
Yeah, because if you make content you believe in, it will eventually start doing well, and you don't have to like buy a $200 course. You can like literally just search on a YouTube video, and you'll probably have the same amount of information there I'll get from a course.
Exactly.
And for literally any editing software, like if you're using iMovie, there's millions of tutorials about it.
Totally. Yeah, you said it, man.
Anyways, thank you so much, Matt, for coming on the podcast. This really means a lot. Before we end, do you have anything you want to promote?
Yeah, check out my channel. I would love for you guys to check out my channel, subscribe. It's Matt the Bat, or you can type in my name, Matt Tighe, which is Tighe.
Or you can just type the link in the description.
Oh, nice. I get the description plug. Nice, man. Yeah, I don't know. Keep watching Nico's podcast and everything. It's great. He's the future of YouTube. So I'm truly blessed to have been a guest. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it.
No problem. But yeah, thank you so much for coming on, and I'll see you next episode of the Nicocast.